Okay. We're going.
Come on in.
Hey, how you doing,
you,
Mr.
Todd?
Rappaport?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Do you mind if I take a seat?
Of course not. Come on.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
How you been, man?
I've been well. Thanks for having me back out. I see you've been taking good care of that truck out there.
Yeah, man.
Still looking good.
Still kicking. That's my baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to give you another one of my business cards just to make
wonderful.
sure
Thank you.
that, anytime you need to contact me, you can.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, how have you been since last we talked?
I've been doing all right. Honestly, I've been pretty much have the same problems as we did when the last time we talked.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to sort that out for you. Again, like last time, we were talking about your labor costs and your input costs,
Right.
and how you wanted to lower those, and about how my company, Gaia Sustainability Solutions, is going to actually help you with that.
Right.
Great. So like we talked about last time, your main concerns were the labor costs, and I took the liberty of just pulling up some articles
Okay.
and getting some information. Here we go. This is just a diagram of some of the farms in this area that have actually incorporated the some of the sustainability techniques that we're going to incorporate on your farm, hopefully. And this is year 2008 through 2012, and you can see their downward trend of their actual labor costs and their actual input costs.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, does this sound like something you guys are interested in?
Yes,
Just
that sounds exactly like what I'm interested in.
Excellent. So, great. So last time we talked about how right now your labor costs are around $100,000 a year.
Right.
And just from a basic our walkarounds that we did when we were out on your facility, we estimated that we could lower your labor costs and your labor inputs by around at least 40%.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
Excellent. I mean, we're farm guys, we're agricultural guys, we're not rocket scientists, but I mean, just a basic number, we can look at that 100,000. If we actually are able to reduce your labor cost by 40%, that's going to be a $40,000 savings right off the bat. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. That's amazing.
Excellent.
I could really use something like that.
Yeah. Just like you were saying, your labor, the cost for what you're getting for your cattle isn't really going to be going up. So the more that you can lower your input costs and your labor costs, the more money and the more profit that you guys are actually going to be getting.
Right. That's actually probably the biggest problem that we're having. As you know, the prices that we get for the beef that we make is it's a set price set by the government. And so the only way for us to increase our profit margin is to decrease our inputs. As it shows on your numbers here, a 40% decrease in our labor costs would really help our profit margin. We could use that money to increase the size of our farm and probably the quality of the grain that we're feeding the cows. Right now we've been having a lot of trouble just decreasing the amount of input costs, really. It's very difficult because the prices of our inputs are going up year by year, and we're constantly looking for ways to decrease it, but it's been increasingly difficult to do that.
I understand completely. And last time we spoke, we had basically a rough number for your input costs of around $300,000 per year. And we estimated that we could lower this by around 30% at least. So let's just crunch some numbers real quick here. If we have $300,000 and we're able to reduce your cost by 30%, that's going to give us a savings of approximately $90,000. I mean, does that sound like something that you guys would be interested in?
That sounds almost too good to be true. Let me just say that I've been working on this farm my entire life. And, these numbers that you're giving me, they all sound really wonderful. And I appreciate that you've taken the time to calculate those things. I guess my biggest concern is that because the amount of experience that we've had with this farm, every farm has its own individual characteristics and its own individual problems. My biggest concern is how do you know my farm better than I will? Because that's, I feel, something that's, I've been working this long just to decrease the input costs, and it seems almost as though I've exhausted almost every resource that I can to do that. It just seems almost too good to be true to hear these kinds of numbers and think that that somebody could do that just coming in and seeing our work. So just if you could maybe
Yeah, I'm glad you raised that question because we've actually studied design science, and what we're going to actually, basically just what we're going to be doing is we're going to start working with nature as opposed to nature. You know, you said you were feeding some of your cows grain. We want to actually eliminate all of your grain costs. We want to keep them on grass the whole year round. So that's a large part of the input costs that we're going to be taking out is the actual grain that you're not going to have to be feeding them. So just by basically sculpting the land and just working with the land, we're going to actually be able to make it so that your cows can stay on grass all year round.
Wow, that sounds really good. I actually hadn't thought of that. I guess the next thing I want to ask is how much is this going to cost for the initial outlay?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that as well. So our initial consulting fee is going to be the $15,000 that we had spoke about before.
Okay.
And now that might seem like a lot of money, and that is a lot of money.
That is very expensive.
That
for
is.
startup costs.
But if you think back to the numbers that we already looked at, if we have a $40,000 savings in your input cost and we have a $90,000 savings in your input cost, that in your first year you're going to be saving around $130,000. So if we just crunch the numbers on that, with the initial cost of the consulting being $15,000 and then a $5,000 a year after that for the first couple of years, let's just say that that's $40,000 our fee.
Okay.
You're basically going to be able to pay this off within 3 months. So
That's amazing.
that is amazing, and it's really because, like I said, we're going to be working with nature as opposed to against her. So how does all that sound to you?
That sounds wonderful. It sounds like we're going to be doing a lot of business together for the next couple of years.
Exactly, and that's, I'm glad you said that because that is what we think about at Gaia Sustainability Solutions. We're not just here to sell you a product and then leave you. We want to be your partner. You know, we are actually going to be taking a stake, not financially, but emotionally in your farm. You know, we want to see you succeed because we know that when we make you succeed, you're going to tell your friends, and they're going to come, and it's going to be mutually beneficial for everyone. So, that's great. Well, here's a contract, and basically all I need is your John Hancock right there, and we can get started.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in. I really do appreciate you taking the time to study our farm and really investing your time more than anything and trying to help us find a solution for our problems.
That is exactly what we're doing. We are investing our time, and we want to see you succeed. Like I said, you have my business card.
Yes, sir.
And anytime you need to contact me, you know, Mr. Wakaport, you know, feel free. You know,
I really appreciate that.
That is what we do. That's what we're here for. We're here for you. We want to solve any issues that you might have.
Thank you. That means so much. I appreciate it, and I look forward to doing business with you.
Excellent. Thank
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We'll keep in contact.
Excellent. Have a good one.
You too.